What's up, Kevin? This is Stephanie. I bugged you last year about the Proposition 8 videos last year. And as you can tell, it's been a year later. Duh, as I just said. Yeah, and as you can tell, I don't do this a lot. I'm a little embarrassed. And I know it's a year late. I know Proposition 8 has long since been passed. But as I'm doing this for an assignment, I decided to oblige and put myself on camera and give my thoughts. Okay, obviously you can tell I like your videos. I thought it was cool that you did what you did. The second one caught my attention because it was a satire, and satire is a really hard thing to do. So the fact that you even did that, you have my highest respects for doing that. That was a very well thought out satire that you did. I could never do anything like that. There's a lot of funny things I can do, but satire is probably not one of them. I think you already know my stance on gay marriage. I've commented on a couple of your other videos. I've made it pretty clear where I stand, but for those of you who, I know Dr. Williams right now watching this, you know where I stand. And for those of you who are tuning in, I voted very much against no on 8. I do not believe that we, the citizens, do not have the right to take away somebody else's right. They're called inalienable rights for a reason. And some people will argue marriage isn't a right, it's a privilege, whatever. That may be, but there's always something wrong with it when you're telling another group of people that we get to do something because we were made a certain way, or we are a certain way. And if you're not made that certain way, you're not born that certain way, you don't get that right. And it doesn't, and excuse me for being repetitive, but that's just not right. Yeah, I'm feeling very awkward right now. Yeah, I wish there were a new, funnier way to get this across, but I can't, especially for all the gay couples out there who want to get married, but they weren't ready to get married in those 7 months before Proposition 8 passed. They just were not ready for the commitment. They still want to take the time to develop their relationship. They want to take time to develop themselves before they commit themselves to marriage, and it just did not coincide with the 7-month window that they had to get married. It's very disappointing for all those couples, or for all those, for all the gay lesbians out there who just haven't found the right person yet. And if this is the last of gay marriage we're going to see in California, then they missed the boat. Tell me how that's equal. Tell me how that's fair. It's very disappointing what happened last year in November. Well, I guess the biggest problem, the reason why people don't want to vote on it, it's not just a political thing. It is, and of course, yes, it is a religious thing. Their religion are telling them that, homosexuals aren't allowed to get married. Some go as far as saying homosexuals don't even have a right to live, even though they were born in the United States just like the rest of us. But yeah, we're asking a bunch of people, when Proposition 8 came out, when we're asking them to vote no on 8, we're asking them to change more than just their political stance. We're asking them to more than just change what Joe and Don do down the street. We're asking them to change their attitudes, their beliefs, which is a much deeper part of you than something you just think or something that you just know about. And maybe it is still a little early for California, which I find ironic that this is like gay central, or maybe just the western coast of California is gay central, because we had an overwhelmingly yes on 8 population even right here in Torrance. So we still got a lot of work to do here in California. But there is some good news. It is November 10th, And I'm proud to say that a week ago, our buddies up in Washington voted in Referendum 71, which is the everything but marriage bill that passed in Washington, which is, hopefully, is one more step closer to gay marriage in Washington. Keep your fingers crossed. Best friend Megan, if you're watching this, keep doing what you're doing up there for the rest of your Washington people. I was disappointed to hear about Maine last week. At the same time, when Referendum 71 passed, Maine fell flat on its face. We thought that was a lock, but then again, we thought California was a lock. And you saw how well that turned out. So, I guess those are my thoughts so far. Sorry this wasn't more creative, Dr. Williams. Sorry, Kevin, that this wasn't funny. But I don't find my fellow Americans being denied their rights because of something they can't change. I don't find that funny. I can't think of anything to say that's funny. Kevin, keep doing what you're doing. I heard you got a professorship over at ASU. Congratulations. Hopefully I will have my BA soon in English education. So, love one another, folks. Love one another.